morning, 7th graders. Today we are going to learn about unit rates. Super easy. And if you had me in 3rd grade, you remember my rap that I did about unit fractions. Remember? I'll give you a second to think. Yes, that's right. A single time, one. A single time, one. A single time, one. A single time, one. A single time, one goes on the bottom of a unit fraction. So today we're talking about unit rates. So every single time we're solving for one. Super easy. Get ready. Get you some scratch paper today. It's going to be fun and easy. Okay, so we are discussing unit rates. And unit, we know the word unit has una in it, and we know some things that start with una. Unisex, one sex. So like a lot of shirts, t-shirts that people buy are unisex. That means they're not specifically for boys and they're not specifically for women. There is universe. We have one universe. There's unicycle, one wheel. There's unibrow, one eyebrow. Unicorn, one horn. Okay, I can't think of anything else. There's probably something else I just can't think. So we know that una equals 1. So right now we have $11.49 for 3 packages, okay? So our goal is to figure out, since it's wanting us to find the unit rate, our goal is to figure out how much is it going to cost for 1 package. Well, guess what? We can do my most favorite thing to do in the world in math, which is a proportion. So easy. So what I like to do is I like to set my labels, okay? And my labels I'm going to do is money, 2 packages. And I'm just going to put P for packages. This is super important. You got to have your labels. If you don't have your labels, everything gets mixed up and then you get the wrong answer. Okay, so on this first proportion, we know proportions are equal. That we have 11.49 for 3 packages, and we want to know how much it is for 1 package. So 1 goes on the bottom, and we are going to solve for x. So here's where another, something else I taught in 3rd grade. When we learned to, and I taught most of you guys, when we learned to compare fractions, we did the butterfly hit, butterfly hit, butterfly it, remember? So what that is we would cross multiply, right? It's coming back to haunt you, isn't it? So we're going to cross multiply. Our goal at the end is we've got 1, this is going to be easy, 1 times $11.49. So we have to figure out 3 times what is going to give us $11.49. Okay? All right, so here's how we're going to do. We're going to cross multiply. We're going to make it look really fancy, smancy, hard, and it's not. But it makes us look smart, so we're just going to keep doing it like that. Okay, so we're going to cross multiply. We have $11.49, and that is equal to 3x. Okay, and we're solving for x. All right, so we also know that when a whole number or a decimal number, or how about just an integer? When an integer or a rational number is touching the variable x, there is an invisible multiplication symbol in there. So we're doing 3 times x right here. So what we got to do is we got to get rid of this 3. And the way to get rid of something, to undo it, is to do the opposite. What's the opposite of multiplying? Dividing. So we're going to divide by 3 here. And those cancel out. Now, listen. The golden rule in algebra is what I do to one side, I got to do to the other. So what I do to the right side, I've got to do it to the left side. I can't be like, it's nice playing with you, 3. See you later. No, I have to come over here and I have to divide by 3 over here. It's only fair, okay? So now I'm going to divide by 3. And if I was in 8th grade math, I could use my calculator, but I can't. So we're going to T-bow this, okay? Top in, bottom out. Top number is going to go in my division box. The bottom number is going to go out. I'm going to bring my decimal up. Okay, now 3 will go into 1 0 times. Okay, 0 times 3 is 0. I'm not going to mess with minus 0. Okay, 3 will go into 11 3 times, almost 4, but not quite. So 3 times 3 is 9, And 11 minus 9 is 2. And I'm going to bring down my 4. Okay, now 3 will go into 24 8 times. 8 times 3 is 24, but I'm not done. No, I'm not. I got to bring down this 9. And 3 will go into 9 3 times. So one package is equal to $3.83. Okay? $3.83. It was easy, right? Now, you think I'm done? No, I'm not. I got to check yourself when you wreck yourself, girl. It takes 3 seconds of my life. Okay? This is what I want to do. Okay. I want to make sure. I know that 1 times 1149 is 1149. I want to make sure that 3 times $3.83 is 1149. If it is, I've done my work. I'm good. We can leave it alone. Because we know that these have to be equal because of that, right? So I can check this. Okay. 383 times 3. God, please, sweet baby Jesus, give me $11.49. 3 times 3 is 9. 8 times 3 is 24. The 4 can stay, but the 2 got to go. 3 times 3 is 9 plus 2 is 11. And I got 2 decimal places. Bring it over. 1149. Bam, Gina. I got it right. Woohoo! All right, we got 2 more examples. Like how fast I was. Okay, now we're going to do 15.6 degrees Fahrenheit. In 13 minutes. Okay, so apparently it's either Rose or Phil. 15.6 in 13 minutes. So we want to see how fast it's going to go in 1 minute. So let's set up our proportion. And there is a good glare. Okay. All right, there we go. So we're going to set up our proportion. And I'm going to do degrees. So I'm going to put a D for degrees over time. Or I'll do minutes. I'll do min. Okay, for minutes. This, to me, is super important because it makes sure you don't mess anything up. That you keep your likes together. That's another thing that I'm sure you've heard. You've got to get your likes together. All right, so degrees is 15.6 in 13 minutes. And we want to know how it's going to be in 1 minute. Okay? And we don't know what x is. We don't know what our degrees is. So we're going to cross multiply and divide. We're going to make ourselves really smart. We're going to do an algebra equation. All right, so we are going to cross multiply here. And we have 15.6, because 15.6 is 1 times 1 is 1. And then we're going to cross multiply here. And we have 13 times x. All right? All right, now, like I said before, there is an invisible multiplication symbol here. We've got to get rid of it. And the only way to get rid of it is to undo it. And the only way to undo multiplication is do the opposite, which is division. So we're going to divide by 13. That gets rid of it. And now it's just x. And then we got to come over here and divide by 13. Okay? Sure wish I could use a calculator right now. All right, so 15.6 divided by 13. We're T-bowing it. Top number goes in the division box. Bottom number goes out. Okay, got to bring up my decimal. Muy importante to do that. Okay, got to bring that up. All right, now 13 will not go into 1. It goes in 0 times. But 13 will go into 15 1 time. 1 times 13 is 13. Now, 5 minus 3 is 2, and 1 minus 1 is 0. So we have 2 left over. We're going to break down the 6. I know for a fact 13 will go into 26 2 times. And 2 times 13 is 26. Almost wrote 13 down. All right, now, so we've got that x equals 1 2/10. Oh, let me erase that because I'm going to put it right here. 1 2/10, right? That's what we got. Are we done? No, we got to check yourself when you wreck yourself, girl. My class is looking at me like I'm crazy because they're in here. Okay, so we want to make sure that this is 15.6 and that 13 times 1.2 is 15.62. Oh, I'm sorry, I put 2 right there. 15.6. We want to make sure both sides are equal. This equal sign says this side has to equal this side. They have to weigh. They have to weigh the same. All right, so I'm going to come over here. I'm going to do 13 times 1.2. Now remember, when you multiply decimals, you don't worry about lining up decimals. When you're adding and subtracting decimals, they got to line up. But we're multiplying, we ignore it until the end. Okay, 3 times 2 is 6. 1 times 2 is 2. We've got to drop a 0. 3 times 1 is 3. 1 times 1 is 1. And we have 6, 5, 1. We got 1 decimal place. So we got 15.6. Bam, Gina, they are equal. We did it right. One more example. I wish you could see these kids' faces. I'm just grateful they're being quiet, not laughing out loud. I think Haston may laugh so hard he's going to cry. No, he said no. Okay. Oh, now I like this one. How many of y'all eat apple pie? Or any kind of pie? We're doing apple pie. So right now it is 13 apples for 2 pies. So we want to know how many apples it's going to take to be in 1 pie. So we got to set up our proportion. So we're going to put apples on top. So I'm going to put an A for apples, my labels, and pie on bottom. Okay, so we got 13 apples and 2 pies. We want to know how many it's going to take for how many apples would we need if we wanted to do 1 pie. Now this is something that as a mom I do, and something that as a griller my husband does when he makes a marinade. Sometimes we have a big group of people and sometimes it's just us. So for 1 serving we have to divide things and figure out how much it's going to be for just 1 person, okay? So this is something, or 1 pie. So I've done this before. I've had a recipe that's like, oh, this makes 2 pies. Well, I don't need to make 2 pies for 4 people. I need to make 1. So this is something that you will use one day. All right, so we know we're going to make ourselves look really super smart, and we're going to do some algebra. We're going to be really smart people. There's going to be an X right here. All right, now we are going to cross multiply. We have 13 is equal to 2x. All right, now super easy. And like I said, to get rid of this 2, because this is like saying 2 times x, we got to undo it. And the way you undo it is by doing the opposite, which is dividing. So we're going to divide by 2, divide by 2, okay? All right, now, 13 divided by 2, we've got to TIBO it. Top number goes in the box, bottom number goes out. 2 goes into 1 0 times. 0 times 2 is 0. 1 minus 0 is 1. Now we're going to bring down this 3. 2 will go into 13 6 times. 6 times 2 is 12. Ooh. 30. We're only going to go to 2 decimal places, right? 3 minus 2 is 1. I'm going to have to add a decimal. Bring it up. 0. 2 goes into 10 5 times. 5 times 2 is 10. And we have a Cinderella fit. It's perfect. Nothing left over. That shoe fit. That foot fit perfect in that shoe. Cinderella fit. So this is cleaning out. So x equals, we hope, 6.5. But are we done? No. We got to check yourself before you wreck yourself, girl. All right. So what we want to do is, we know this is 13. We want to make sure that we want to make sure that's 13. So we got to do 6.5 times 2. Okay, 5 times 2 is 10. 0 can stay. 1 got to go. 6 times 2 is 12, and 12 plus 1 is 13. And we'll bring our decimal over 1 place. Boom. Bam, Gina. Bam, Gina. It's equal. We did it right. Now, if you have a question, pause the video, raise your hand. I'll be more than happy to come help you. Ooh.